Okay. I've taught you box. Let's go over box to make sure we're good. I don't know why I'm making it so small. I'll work on that. X minus 6. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. First guy here. Last guy here. Let me zoom it in a little bit. Sorry about that. All right. So now there's the x minus 6x. This has got to be second nature. Negative 6x to negative 5x. X plus 1. Because 1 times x is 1x. Negative 6. Ah, that does work. So the answer is x plus 1. All right, let me take it further. If I said, is x minus 6 a factor? Yes. Is x plus 1 a factor? Yes. Is 6 a 0 for this polynomial? Yes. Is negative 1 0 for this polynomial? Yes. Is this statement true? Yes, because when you set this equal to 0, you get 0. Is this a true statement? No, because if you set this equal to 0, you get negative 1. So now it's a true statement. Okay, we've done that. We've done the box. Now I'm going to teach you something called synthetic. Synthetic means fake, okay? It's a different way to do it. I actually like this way the best. I will require you to do all 3. Actually 4, because there's synthetic substitution. That's not on here. So we'll start with synthetic. Once we get the game for synthetic, we'll say hello to long division, okay? All right. There will also be times where I'm just like, hey, just tell me, is it a factor, yes or no? Divide it. And you can either do box, synthetic, long, or synthetic substitution. All right. So there's different ways to present this. Here's the way I do it. The first thing you do is you set that equal to 0. Whatever number that is goes right here, and then you kind of do a backwards L. So I'll highlight, and that's what goes there. Then you take the leading coefficients, or the coefficients, and you write them down. Then you draw a line. It's going to seem weird. It's synthetic. It's fake. Okay, things are always weird in the beginning when you don't get the game. Once you get the game, you're like, hey, I got this. Kind of like the reverse box. It seemed weird. So the first thing you do is you bring down the number. Okay? Then, if you're going this way, which is diagonal, you're going to multiply. If you go vertically, you're going to add. All right? So this is diagonal. 6 times 1, 6. It goes here. Vertically, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertical, add. Okay? My goal is to get 0. If I get 0, that means that this is a factor of that. And then some of you go, well, what is the factor? Okay, well, it's going to be 1x plus 1. It was x squared. Then if you take out an x, you're left with x plus 1, which is x plus 1. Okay, let me do another one to let you see. So let's say I had x squared minus 5x minus 6 divided by x plus 3. Okay, let's say I had that problem. If I'm doing synthetic division, what's the first thing I do? Set it equal to 0. Now, take the leading coefficient, the coefficients, draw a line, always bring down the first number. When I go diagonal, negative 3. When I go vertical, add. When I go diagonal, multiply. When I go vertical, add. Is this a factor of this? No, because there's a remainder. The answer is x minus 8 plus 18 over x plus 3. Let's do another one. Let's see, I think x squared minus 5x minus 1 divided by x plus 1. I want to know, is this a factor of this? Negative 1, set it equal to 0. 1, negative 5, negative 6. What do? Bring down the first number. Diagonal, multiply. Vertical, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertical, add. Ah! It equals 0. Then yes, it is a factor. X squared divided by x gives me x minus 6. And that's what that answer is there. Okay? You will probably, it'll be helpful if you're doing Zooms with me on this, okay? Now, some of you go, I like this better. I actually think this goes way quicker because once you get the game, while you're still making the box and counting how many of these, I'm already done, okay? And I know we all have different preferences, and that's why I'm not limiting your preferences most of the time, okay? All right, let's do our reverse box. X plus 3. The real test is, now that I taught you synthetic, can you still do the box? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. First guy, last guy. So 3x, done. 9x. How do I get to negative 4x? Negative 13x. And then negative 13, negative 39. But what am I supposed to get? Negative 1. Is this a factor of this? No, it's not a factor. If I asked you to divide this divided by this, your answer is 3x minus 13 plus 38 over x plus 3. Okay? Now, if I was doing synthetic division, first thing I do, set this equal to 0. And do my backwards L. What number goes here? Negative 3. Now take my coefficients, 3, negative 4, negative 1. Draw the line. It's the first thing I do. Bring down the 3. Diagonal, multiply. Vertical, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertical, add. What am I supposed to get? 0. Did I get 0? No, I did not. Look at that. And I want you to see, I don't know if you're noticing the differences here, or the similarities. See how there's a 9 and a 9? 39, 39. It's like the same thing, but opposite. There's your negative 13. There's your 38. I think this way is way quicker. So, if I had an x squared, and I divide out an x, I'm left with a 3x minus 13 plus 38 over x plus 3. Okay, let's do the next one. All right. Do my little box. 2x plus 1. So I did all this work, got an answer, and then came over here, realized it didn't match. And so I realized my issue is I put 2x plus 1 when that says 2x minus 1. So it's going to feel a little cut off. I'm sorry about that. So we had 4x cubed minus 1, but you have to account for the 0x squared, the 0x, then the minus 1. So let's try this again. First guy, last guy. That would be 2x squared, negative 2x squared. That's done. How do I get to 0? 2x squared. So that would be plus x minus x. So plus x plus 2 minus 2. I'm supposed to be getting negative 1. So is, so that's a mess up. Okay. Sorry about that. Is this a factor of this? No, because there is a remainder. The remainder is 1 over 2x minus 1. But if I said divide this divided by this, that would be your answer. So let me redo my synthetic division. Okay. And pretend you didn't see that. I will do it down here. And I'll just make it really small so that way I can keep it in the space. So the first thing I do is I set it equal to 0. If I do that, I add 1 and divide by 2. Do my backwards L. That would be 1/2. So then I put the 4, but remember I have x cubed, then x squared, then x, and then a number. Okay? Now, first thing I do, bring down the 4. This times this, this. Diagonally multiply, vertically add. Diagonally multiply, vertically add. Diagonally multiply, vertical add. Okay? Now here's how this one is different. Synthetic division is different because you're going to be setting it equal to 0, but now you have a vertical stretch, which is actually, a horizontal compression. And so you have to divide it by 2. So when you're going to do that, you have to divide everything by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. if you look, let's see where I had it. Hold on one sec. So then this is really a 2, a 1, and a 1/2. Okay? So when I do that, I know that if I have x cubed and I'm left with an x, I now have x squared. So 2x squared plus 1x plus 1/2. Okay? That one's kind of a wonky one, but I just wanted you to get the idea. Okay? So now what I want you to do is you're going to pick your favorite method. So your options are either the reverse box, which is the first column. You can do the second column, which is synthetic division. You could even do the previous page and do synthetic substitution. Or if you're doing synthetic substitution, that's your P sub 2 equals 0. This is doing your backwards L, and this is your little box. I don't care what you do, but I need to know, yes, this is a factor, or no, it's not. And then I'm going to pause it, do all three, or maybe just pick one. Actually, I think I'm just going to do synthetic division, because I feel like that's the one that I really want you to get. So first thing I do, set it equal to 0, do my backwards box. 2. Leading coefficient, 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 coefficient. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. Bring it down. Diagonal, multiply. Vertically, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertically, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertically, add. Diagonal, multiply. Vertically, add. Is this a factor of this? No. Because what's supposed to be here? 0. Now, what would be my answer? If I had an x to the 4th and I take out an x, I'm left with x cubed. So negative x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x minus 19 minus 32 over x minus 2. This is not a factor of this. This does not cross the x-axis at 2 when you graph the polynomial. All right. I guess they want you to do it another way. So I did do synthetic division. Let's do the reverse box because I think you guys like that one. X plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative x to the 4th, 6. So negative x cubed, negative x cubed. So that's done. Oh, that is negative x cubed. So plus 0x squared. What did I do wrong? Hold on one second. I'm having a hard time. I don't know why I was matching this one to this one. They're not the same problem. So this one is not a factor. So it's the same polynomial. This is the exact same thing as this, but then it's different factors. So we know this is not a factor of that, and we want to find out if this is a factor. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a lot going on in my little brain. That's not math right now. We all know what that's like. Okay. So I had to truncate this again because, yeah, I'm just doing awesome. Okay, so then that would be 0x squared. So I've done the negative x cubed. Now I have to get to negative 5x squared. So 0 minus 5x squared, that'll give me the negative 5x squared. That means that's negative 5x, but I have to get 3x. So that would be 2x. So that would be plus 2, and that would be 2. But I'm supposed to get 6. This is not a factor. But if I asked you to divide this divided by this, I would get... Okay, I'm going to graph it real quick on Desmos to see what it is. So what if I asked you to find the zeros? Because I graphed it on Desmos. We know 2 is not an option and negative 1 is not an option. I actually graphed it on Desmos, and if you look, no whole numbers are options. Okay? And so we would see that you'd end up getting 2 real solutions that are probably have square roots in them from the quadratic formula. And then you've got way down here, you've got some imaginaries because you need to have a total of 4 zeros. I wouldn't have you find the zeros for this one because that's just crazy town. Okay, but I want you to see the difference between how you can use Desmos to help you in all the different ways you can do the problem.